This conference will now be recorded.
All right, I'd like to plan or have a Public Works and Protection meeting on Tuesday, July 11th, 2023. Roll call, please.
Gary Paul.
Here.
Jay Krieger.
Here.
Kelly Service.
Here.
John Burnett.
Here.
Joanne Newpick.
Here.
Very good. Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Action on the agenda. Any changes or corrections?
Move to approve.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Actions from the minutes of June 6th, 23. Any corrections or additions on that? Not, I'll obtain a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Move to approve in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 6, comments from the public must be limited to items not on the agenda, must state name and address, limit to 5 minutes. Board role is to listen and not discuss them. Personal issues cannot be discussed, nor individual named. Board is not able to take action at this time, at this meeting. And you people are on the agenda. Anybody on the screen there? It looks like it's kind of vacant tonight. Moving on to action items. Item A, action on temporary premise change to the Moose Lodge 801. Joel, you are on that one.
Okay, thank you, Gary. The Green Bay Moose Lodge number 801 is requesting a temporary premise extension for their Class B beer liquor combination license to include the vacant lot to the west. If you're familiar with that location, there's a vacant lot between that and the retail center on Oneida Street. That's adjacent to their 846 Morris Avenue location, so it is adjacent to their existing premise. The purpose of the extension is to accommodate their annual lodge picnic on July 23rd, 2023. In the past, the Moose Lodge at their annual picnic will have tents installed on their premise, but due to fire code issues with the sizing of the tents, they are no longer able to do that in their parking lot based on the setbacks. So they have asked the adjacent property owner if they could use that vacant lot to extend their premise for that purpose. Staff recommends the committee approve a recommendation for the request for the temporary premise extension for that date on July 23rd, 2023.
Nobody here for the motion. Any questions or concerns?
Is this a locked-in date? I mean, it's a rain or shine?
It is my understanding that it's a rain or shine locked-in date.
I'll make a move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Action item 2, action on Class B beer /C B liquor license request for Tajin Mexican Grill VR LLC, doing business as Tajin's Mexican Grill. Patrick.
This is the former restaurant of the Cozumel, located at 940 Hanson Road. The former liquor license was surrendered by the former licensee. The new applicant is in person today. We have an interpreter here for him. The name is going to be changed, or has been changed, from the Cozumel restaurant to Tajin Mexican Grill. They are currently operating as a restaurant right now, but because the former licensee surrendered his license, the new applicant is here. He owns the business, the restaurant, and now applying for the Class B beer and the Class B liquor license, the combination license. It is a regular license, so it's not a reserve. This has been established there before. The staff has done a very thorough vetting process of the new applicant. Since the original licensee surrendered, there has been kind of somewhat of an issue. We had an applicant previous to the one here currently. There were a couple issues with that. And because of those issues, he's no longer involved, and we have a new applicant here. And the staff approves and recommends that, or requests that the committee recommend approval to the board. If there's any questions here, the applicant is present, and our interpreter is with him as well.
All right, so when it was in business, it had the same license that they are applying for then?
Correct.
Nothing
Yep,
changed in
just with a different name.
the terminology of the liquor license. Okay, any
Correct.
questions up here?
Before I do, sorry, Gary, before I do, there was on the recommendation, I asked that the committee recommend with a condition of the satisfying all outstanding fees. Today, all outstanding fees and taxes have been satisfied, so the staff would just request approval or recommend approval to the board.
Make a motion to approve Class B beer, Class B liquor license for Tajin Mexican Grill.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Question on that. The conditions have been met, you said?
Yeah.
There was an
Okay.
outstanding personal property tax that wasn't satisfied from the former licensee. That's been taken care of today.
Okay, all right, it is taken care of. Okay, very good. Okay. Item number C. Consider discuss act on village ordinance number 07-1-23, amending prohibited parking area. Patrick, you're on again.
This was a request from the Public Safety Department to review and look at if there's any possibility of limiting parking near where the bus bump outs are, specifically, I believe it was at Cormier, the school. There's been issues that the public safety staff and the SROs have seen where pedestrian parking would park vehicles in the bump outs, specifically designated for the bus zones, creating then a backup if other cars would park behind it and the buses would cause a backup. There are currently no, parking restrictions there as of right now since that bump out was created. There are no signs up either. This would limit not only for that school, but it would also apply to any school within Ashwaubenon, within the village, to kind of at the discretion of the school, where the buses would be parking. They can place signs up only during the months that school is in session and from 7 to 4 p.m.
Wasn't that discussed when Cormier the roads were being reconfigured and the roundabout put into the property? Why am I thinking that?
Good question. I'm not sure on that one, Gary.
All right,
Yeah.
but this is for all schools.
Right. The main concern right now is for Cormier. I discussed with the public safety and the SROs that maybe it's probably better, rather than if this happens again in the future, to apply to all schools. And it's very possible there is already bus regulation parking at the schools. However, this would encompass all of them for just bus parking during the times in the months of schools in session, if this happens in the future. So rather than a different school coming forward saying, now we're in this area, we're seeing this backlog of traffic, this would take care of it and eliminate that process and just put up the signs and regulate it.
So signage will be put up so the public knows
Yes,
not
So-
their area to be in.
yes.
Who is managing that part of it? Is our Public Works Department managing that? Is the school district managing that? Because I'm very familiar with the different areas, and I'm not quite sure who's going to, if it's at the school district discretion, I'm all good with that. I'm just wondering whose ball is it?
Certainly, if there's an issue that's warranted on the other schools, that would be discussed with the school district to probably meet with public safety and DPW to determine if the signs are needed. Specifically, right now for Cormier, the schools brought this concern. I was on the phone with the principal, SROs, and public safety.
Yep.
So in this specific area, DPW, public safety, and I would likely develop some kind of language for the signs. DPW make them and then install them, and then public safety regulate,
Okay.
as well as with the schools, certainly.
Because at Valley View, I believe they have a round, a turn-in where they go to. At Pioneer, they have a turn-in. At Parkview, they set up in their parking lot, they basically block off their parking lot. In the high school, they go in front of the school. So I'm just curious as to, I absolutely get Cormier, that's going to happen. But I'm just curious as to who's going to have the ball to kind of take this ordinance forward for the other schools and things like that. I think it's appropriate, it's just a matter of who's doing it.
Jerry, a simple question. Who brought it up? What brought it up to the,
Public safety in the schools have
Public
seen the
safety.
issues, so it wouldn't necessarily be a one-party, one department kind of take the lead. It's more of a collaborative effort to study if there's a parking issue at the other schools. As of right now, I haven't heard anything. But in the event that bus parking or needs to be changed, this would, I guess, assist that in that way.
Okay. All good.
we all clear on this?
Yep. I'll move to adopt 07-1-23, amending the prohibited parking areas.
I'll second it.
At a first and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we ran through that pretty quickly. Items for next agenda, see staff if anybody has anything they want to put on or questions about it. Other than that, I'll obtain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much.